The most expensive thing AI will ever destroy isn't your job. It's the moment your brain decides thinking isn't worth the effort. Right now, something is happening inside you, not to machines, not to someone else, to you. And most people will never notice it. You probably believe AI makes you smarter, more productive, more capable. That is what everyone believes. But here is what the science actually says. It depends on what you mean by smarter. In 2011, 3 researchers at Harvard made a quiet discovery. Betsy Sparrow, Jenny Liu, Daniel Wegner. They published in Science. They gave people a set of facts to remember. Some were told a computer would save the information. Others were told it would be deleted. The people who knew the computer would remember barely tried to remember themselves, not because they were lazy, because the brain is efficient. It saw no reason to store something it could retrieve on demand. They called it the Google effect. But here is where it gets strange. That same logic does not stop at memory. In 2025, Michael Gurley at SBS Swiss Business School surveyed 666 people. He measured one thing: how much they used AI tools against how much they independently engaged with difficult problems. The result was direct. The more someone used AI, the less they thought for themselves. Not because they were tired, not because the problems were easier, because the machine was there. And here is what no one expected. The smarter you are, the faster this happens. Intelligent people are efficient. They delegate what can be delegated. They save effort for what they believe requires their attention. And AI is very good at convincing intelligent people that most things do not require their attention. But here is the part that changes everything. Your brain does not see a boundary between itself and the tools it uses. Andy Clark and David Chalmers proposed this in 1998. The extended mind theory. When you consistently use an external system to think, the brain begins to treat that system as part of its own architecture. Your phone is already part of your memory. Your GPS is already part of your navigation. AI is becoming part of your reasoning, and the brain reorganizes itself around what it expects to need. This has happened before. A team at University College London studied London cab drivers. These were people who spent years memorizing every street, every turn, every back road in one of the most complex cities on Earth. What they found was this: the hippocampus, the region of the brain that builds internal maps, grew physically, measurably, because they used it. And when GPS became standard, that practice stopped. The structure changed. In 1997, Ralph Parasuraman and Victor Riley published something in Human Factors. They called it automation bias. Humans begin trusting automated systems, even when those systems are wrong. Not because humans become incompetent, because confidence in the tool lowers vigilance in the person. In 2009, Air France Flight 447, cruising at 35,000 feet. The autopilot disengaged. The pilots, who had relied on automation for the entire flight, could not recover, not because they forgot how to fly, because the gap between automated competence and independent competence had grown in the dark, without anyone noticing. A 2025 study in Frontiers in Psychology by Chirayath, Premamalini, and Joseph described it this way: AI does not simply reduce mental demand, it alters the mental architecture of coping. The brain stops building the internal structure that handles difficult things because it stopped expecting to need it. Performance improves, output looks better, work gets done faster, and yet something underneath gets quieter. A chess player using AI analysis climbs dramatically in rating. Their moves look sharper, their results improve, but their unaided performance does not improve at the same rate. The tool got better, the player stayed the same. But here is the real question: If you hand the hard part to a machine every time, at what point does the machine become the thinker and you become the interface? Scientists do not yet know how reversible this is. They do not know the threshold. They do not know how many years of offloading produces a permanent shift. What they do know is that struggle is not inefficiency. Struggle is how the structure builds. The moment your brain stops choosing the harder path because the easier one is one prompt away, something gets quieter. This does not mean you become less intelligent. It means intelligence starts to be priced differently. Raw information handling, drafting, summarizing, retrieving, calculating, collapses in value. What becomes scarce, what becomes expensive, is the thing AI cannot produce on demand. The ability to ask the right question, to notice what the machine missed, to take responsibility for the final decision. You are probably the last generation that knows what it felt like to have to figure something out alone. No prompt, no tool, just the problem, and your mind pressed against it. That feeling will not disappear, but it may become a choice. And the question that will stay with you is whether the choice to struggle will feel worth making when the easier version is already open in another tab.